All right. I now call the November 14th, 2023 special meeting of the City Council to order. Our invocation this evening is given by Mr. Hermes.
Yes, and I happened to totally forgot that Rachel asked me to do the invocation this evening. So let's bow our heads for a moment. God, please watch over this meeting and watch over all of those present. Please let us work together for the betterment of our city, for the betterment of the staff, for the betterment of the residents and the businesses of Erlanger. Watch over us, keep us healthy, keep us safe, keep us strong, keep us smart. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right, please rise for the pledge. Mrs. Hoffman, if you can please take roll call.
Ms. Nicely?
Present.
Mr. Cahill?
Present.
Ms. Kyle?
Here.
Mr. Skidmore? Mr. Hermes?
Here.
Ms. Skidmore? Here. Ms. Reckers?
Here.
Ms. Jasper Lucas?
Here.
Ms. Wilson?
Here.
Thank you. All right, you've received a copy of the minutes for the October 3rd, 2023 regular council meeting and the October 17th, 2023 special council meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to be made at this time? Okay, seeing none, do I entertain a motion that we adopt as presented? Ms. Reckers, Ms. Nicely, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. You've also received a copy for tonight's agenda. Do I entertain a motion that we adopt as presented? Ms. Reckers, Ms. Kyle, any discussion? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Mayor's report, I just wanted to thank everybody that participated in the senior Thanksgiving luncheon today at the DAV. We had, I believe, close to 100 residents that were present, and it was a really awesome event, and it's one that I look forward to every year, and we're so grateful to have the DAV in our city with their national headquarters, and they're always willing to share their facility with us. So we are very grateful to them. So thank you for the participation, and we look forward to next year. All right, City Administrator's report, Mr. Glenn.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. A couple things real quick. Railroad overpass that we've been working on for a couple years, as we are now in mid-November and it's not started. Everybody can surmise that it's not going to happen this calendar year. So we've been working with the railroad, and we had the pre-construction meeting, which was going to be the last obstacle before we had final approval in August. And so we just kind of pulled the plug maybe a week and a half ago because of the weather. This is a nighttime project as well, so we're going to have the colder weather at night when we're allowed to do the work. So we're going to work throughout the fall here and winter, trying to get the final approval, and then hopefully in the spring we'll be ready to paint the overpass. So that's where we stand on that. Cherry Hill, we're going to be meeting with Boone County next month, or next week, I mean, or soon anyway. Yeah, well, anyway, so we had a situation happen last week as far as the tractor trailer coming in. It hasn't been happening a whole lot, but this one was pretty bad with taking out a few poles and damaging some cars and stuff like that. So we'll be meeting with Boone County and continuing working together with them on trying to find some solutions. The tractor trailer came in off of Queensway and came into the neighborhood that way. So it's an ongoing thing, but we're going to stay vigilant with them. facility master plan. We're working with staff now on updating and kind of reviewing the needs assessment that we did and completed back in 2020, just to make sure that everything is valid, and then we're going to be developing a long-range facility improvement plan that we'll be working with staff and presenting the council here once we're completed. And lastly, Jennifer Mergel, she was able to send out code enforcement fines with our tax bills. There was a tax law that was changed to where she could send out those code enforcement fines, and she, of 16 parcels, we had 40 different violations, and she collected over $12,000. So this was all new initiative, and she got to clean up a lot of the old fines and code violations that had been around for years, right, Sherry? So that was a great effort and a nice new thing. And that's all I have. Yeah, Vicki.
Some citizens were asking, was the gentleman, cited for the damage that he caused, and will those people be reimbursed, like Duke Energy and the cars that were damaged?
I'm not sure, being that it happened in Boone County.
Oh, that's right.
Typically, when it happens here in Erlanger, that is the course of action as far as citing the driver. That I know that's happened in the past, but I'm not sure if that happened on this situation, since it happened in Boone
Okay.
County.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It was Boone County.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Gatlin, City Attorney's report.
Mayor, we just have one piece of legislation on tonight, which is really, it's just to give a little background on it. It's the old Toyota property. They now have a new operator in there, and this is a very unique piece of property that is in many, many jurisdictions. So this is just the municipal order which will allow an interlocal agreement between the City of Erlanger, Kenton County Schools, Boone County Schools, and Kenton County for the collection of taxes and the proration of taxes from that location.
All right, thank you. I was so excited to talk about the senior Thanksgiving luncheon that I missed a critical piece of our meeting. We're going to go into executive session, but I do need a council member in order to, okay, Ms. Reckers.
Motion to go into executive session?
Yeah, and if we could just clarify that it's pursuant to KRS 618101B, deliberations on the future acquisition of sale of real estate.
Motion to go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.8101, lowercase b, deliberations on the future acquisition of sale or of real estate property by a public entity.
Brilliant. Mr. Cahill, second. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carried. We're going to adjourn to executive session. Okay, do I entertain a motion that we open the meeting? Return to the special meeting. You would think we know how to do this by now. Mr. Hermes and Ms. Kyle, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. All right. Okay. Our report on capital projects, Mr. Quinn.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works has been working with VOX on our street projects with Kenneboo in Virginia, Atlas Airway, and Glennacourt Northway. So those projects should be coming out to go out to bid here shortly. Other street projects are Circlewood. Jefferson's on their third pour over there. They're about a third way done. Just like to make a reminder that there are other ways in and out of that neighborhood. Try to stay out of that construction area while the project is going on. Beaumont is started the seat wall of Phase 2 of Cahill Common. That's been coming along quite well. They've done all the grading work, waiting on the basketball goal to be delivered and the play equipment. Pleasure Isle, we've been working with Duke, Alta Fiber, and Spectrum on getting their lines down. We're still waiting on one of them to remove their line to do the pier wall down there. We were told that the gentleman went down there and the wire was removed. He was looking at the wrong pole. So they're going to be revisiting that again this week. Public Works facility, Mark Spalding has been pouring the footers this week at the facility. So we're hopefully to see that project come on quite a ways here in the next couple of weeks with some concrete pouring and some things start coming up out of the ground. And then lastly is Humphreys has been working on our sidewalk replacement program over in Cherry Hill. I'd say they're probably about a quarter way done with this year's project. So they're planning on continuing to work as long as the weather's good. So that'll still be going along there. And then just on a couple programs, leaf collection is about halfway done this year. Guys worked late last week. They're ahead of schedule currently, so that's going quite well. And then as you can see, we've been putting up Christmas decorations for the season. Stevenson, of course, Stevenson Misty Creek will be added this year, so that should, looking forward to seeing that. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Are there any other reports from department heads? Kara?
So for HR, our HR administrator, Stephanie Quayle, started this past Monday, and Christy's getting her acclimated, and I'm very excited for our team. And then also for finance, for projections, internally we're working on projections, and we're hoping that we will be able to share those in January. That's it.
All right, any other department heads? Ms. Hoffman?
I wanted to just congratulate Kim Walking. Her Depot Days program was selected as one of the Kentucky Recreation and Park Society's Outstanding Program Class 1 recipients for 2023. And just if anybody doesn't know this, she began the program in 2016 with only 3 events. 7 years later has grown to 16 events over 8 weeks with 2,566 people attending in 2023. So we're very proud of the program and very excited for Kim. Summer send-off t-shirts are for sale. We have received a lot of requests from people asking how they could purchase the t-shirts. So you can purchase them now. They can just go to the website to find out more information. And then the Holiday Light Collection event. Last year was the first year we participated in this program. It's where you would bring your unwanted Christmas lights here to the city building. Last year in Northern Kentucky alone, they were able to divert 3,000 pounds of lights from the landfill. So we'll be participating again, and you can drop off your lights starting November 27th. That's all I have.
Okay, so business Expressions Dance Theater is under construction at 2641 Crescent Springs Road. La Hacienda Mexican Market is under construction in Erlanger Town Center. There's a gynecologist's office that will be opening at 437 Commonwealth Avenue. And Jimmy John's will be opening at 3140 Dixie Highway. They're doing their construction plans right now. We do have a business loss coming up. Amazon will be closing their location at 4620 Olympic Boulevard at the end of January. That will be a loss in 150 jobs. So we'll be reaching out to the property owner and seeing what we can do to help get that building filled. As far as grants that were awarded, Erlanger Batting Cages was awarded the small business grant for their parking lot repairs and retaining walls. 437 Commonwealth Avenue received funding from the CAP grant for completing roof renovations, hardwood floors, carpet, LVT, bathroom, fence, porch and driveway repairs. Outstanding grants, Blankenship Macy is still outstanding, and the new grants that have been requested are Ohio Valley Equity and Expressions Dance Theater.
Thank you. All right. Reports from task forces. Ms. Nicely?
Thank you, Mayor. The City Beautification Task Force met last October, on October 17th, and we had discussed bringing up a possible banner project that would involve businesses purchasing banners throughout the city. I will turn it over to Councilman Hermes to go into further detail, and I just wanted to remind everybody the next task force meeting is January 16th of 2024 at 5 p.m. at the Public Works location.
Thank you. Yeah, so I guess what I would like to discuss is kind of how we came to the whole concept of having businesses help sponsor banners. In front of you, I think Mr. Quinn has distributed a Public Works memo. This is from the Beautification Task Force meeting where we had begun to list potential projects. As you can see, the first 8 of them, we are trying to establish the timeline for some of these projects to be completed. And we're looking out to the 25-26 fiscal year. There's 24 items on here total, and as we were looking at it, knowing that we can only, with the amount that we budget each year for beautification, we're able to get 2 or 3 of these projects done per year. It's going to take us quite some time to get through this list. So we began to talk about ideas and ways for businesses to get involved and help donate money and help subsidize the program. And in the course of talking about that, we were also discussing the timeline of our banners throughout the city. So right now, once we get to the end of the holiday season, we have a bucket truck that goes around and takes down all the holiday banners, usually around, like the first week of January. And then we have nothing on those poles until we get ready for Memorial Day again. About a week before Memorial Day, we get a bucket truck back out again and put up the honor banners. And what we're saying is, it wouldn't take any more staff, or it wouldn't take any more, bucket truck rentals or anything to that effect if we had another banner to put up in the meantime. So what we're saying is we take down the holiday banners and then put up banners that the businesses could help sponsor. And, we did a mock-up, and I was hoping that we would be able to put something up on the screen here tonight, but I know there's some technical difficulties with that. But it'd be something to the effect where the banners would say, Erlanger Beautification, and then have a picture, a nice picture from Erlanger, something, a cool feature, or we looked at an option for a scene from Doe Run Lake, another scene from the 7 Mile House, memorial. And then at the bottom of the banner, then say sponsored by, and I had not talked to any of the businesses. I mean, this example, which I wasn't going to pass out, we didn't get them printed in color here. But it would say something to the effect of, and this is just as an example, sponsored by Allie's Walkabout, or sponsored by Greek to Me, or, Erlanger businesses, or people who are in the Erlanger community. We figured there should be some stipulations, that it should be a business and they should have an occupational license within the city. We are thinking that businesses would pay, we're thinking that $500 wouldn't be an unfair amount to ask. And if we could, right now, well, let me just take a step back. When we started the Honor Banner program, the first year, I think we had, was it 13 Honor Banners that where people had found out about it and were interested in it. And but that once people saw them and wanted to be a part of it, we're now up to 101, is that right? Yeah, okay, so now we have 101 banner locations. If we could get 100 business-sponsored beautification banners, that'd be another $50,000 to the program and would allow us to go through this list more quickly. So I think at this stage, it's still, the idea is still in its infancy. However, the timing is bearing down on us pretty quickly. We need to be able to get these commitments from the businesses within the next month in order to be able to have time to get proofs done and the banners printed and ready to be hung up. So I think at this point I would be looking for maybe a head nod from council if they thought that this might be an acceptable way of helping to subsidize the beautification program. Or any question, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Ms. Jasper Lucas.
So the only thing from the business that would go on there is their name, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if they were going to be able to put a slogan or something like that, because we'd actually have to have a little bit more parameters about what it could say and not say and stuff like that. So I think it's great. I like the idea. I think it's a great way to fill that space during that gap and to bring a little bit extra revenue in to help pay for the projects.
All right, cool. Anything else?
While we're, knowing that we're in a special meeting, and this isn't necessarily what I wanted to discuss, but I do want to discuss it eventually, maybe at the next meeting. I'd like to ask for a spot on the agenda. We received a letter in our bins that was to the mayor and city council, a handwritten letter regarding street work and things like that. I would like to talk about that a little bit more, but not necessarily at this meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. Any other reports from task forces? Okay.
Yeah, so the municipal order that we had tonight, I'm actually going to ask for a motion to table it to our next meeting. The exhibits aren't as clear as I'd like them to be, and the county's not going to pass this until their December meeting anyway, so we just need to get this in by the end of the year. Ms. Kramer and I kind of discussed it, and just in an absolute abundance of caution, I want to make sure that we have the right lines divided on 25 Atlantic. So if I could have a motion to table this municipal order.
Ms. Kyle and Ms. Reckers, any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carried. All right, do I have a motion that we adjourn? Ms. Reckers, Ms. Jasper Lucas, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. Have a good evening.